When we were speaking last year in the Muwatta, we were explaining that hadith also. We said that the greatest privilege of going, when you go Medina Munawwara, if you become sick, then the Prophet ﷺ will be a shafi' and he will be a shaheed. That if a person becomes sick in Medina Munawwara, Abu Bakr radiallahu an, Bilal radiallahu an, it comes in Sahih al-Bukhari, they fell ill in Medina Munawwara. So when a person goes to Medina Munawwara and they become sick and they make sabr, they're doing in Medina what Abu Bakr radiallahu an done in Medina. The Prophet ﷺ is saying that I am going to tell Allah Ta'ala to enter you into Jannah. I am going to be a testimony that you are a Muslim in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of Qiyamah. The Prophet ﷺ will be a shafi' and a shaheed. So even when a person becomes sick in Medina Munawwara, then too they feel tranquility. If that is when you just go to Medina Munawwara, imagine if you had to be in the company of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Just imagine, picture yourself in the blessed company of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If you close your eyes and envision the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam there in front of you, as you sit near him, he begins to speak, and you hear his beautiful and soothing voice, which is so soft yet so profound, like a warm breeze caressing your skin on a chilly morning. And each word that the Prophet ﷺ mentions feels like a balm to your heart. It's gentle yet so powerful. And as you are sitting there with the Prophet ﷺ, you brave the courage to lift your gaze, and then you look at the movement of the Prophet ﷺ. You find each gesture of the Prophet ﷺ is filled with a tenderness so deep, it feels as though the entire world itself has paused to listen to him. His affection is so palpable and yet so intense, like a comforting embrace that envelopes your soul. It leaves you in a state of wonder and serenity. And then the Prophet ﷺ smiles. So when the Prophet ﷺ, imagine you're in the company of the Prophet ﷺ and he smiles. That's not just a smile, it is a light that brightens everything around you. A radiant glow that brings warmth to the coldest heart. It removes every worry. It makes you forget of any tension. When the Prophet ﷺ smiles, it is like the world seems to fade away. And for a moment, it feels that nothing can ever go wrong in this world. You literally feel as if you are already in Jannah. And that is how it was in the company of the Prophet ﷺ. Those who were in the company of the Prophet ﷺ, they were enjoying Jannah on earth. Those who are blessed to go to Medina Munawwara, they experience Jannah in this very world. The Prophet ﷺ, his smile is so pure, so sincere, full of love and compassion, as though the very essence of mercy is reflected in it. In his presence, you are reminded of the mercy and the compassion of the Creator himself, as if the Prophet ﷺ, his smile carries the weight of 1,000 unspoken prayers just for your happiness. And then, if you had to speak to the Prophet ﷺ, he would listen attentively to every word that you utter. He would give you such attention that you will feel that the world stopped to listen to you. You will feel so respected, so cherished, so loved. Because in the gathering of the Prophet ﷺ, no one was made to feel small, no one was ridiculed, no one was ever neglected. So the Prophet ﷺ, his presence was a balm to the wounded heart, a comfort to the troubled soul. His compassion was such that even in the most difficult of times, the Sahaba radiallahu anhum experienced this peace. Why? Because they saw the Prophet ﷺ. A person comes to the Prophet ﷺ, his parents was martyred, his father was killed, his son was sacrificed in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but the minute his gaze his gaze falls on the Mubarak face of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he forgets all about his sorrow. He forgets everything and he only finds a peace. So this is how the Prophet ﷺ was, that in moments of difficulty, the Prophet ﷺ was the anchor, unshaken, unwavering, always leading with a heart full of hope. He was the light in the darkest of times, the gentle breeze when the storm raged. His companionship was the greatest gift anyone could ever receive. So who got the greatest gift in this world? It is the Sahaba radiyallahu anhum. Why? Because they had the opportunity of being in the Mubarak presence of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. From all of those who are alive right now, who got the greatest ni'mah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon them, that is those who are in Medina Munawwara. They are enjoying the greatest bounty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then from all those in Medina Munawwara, who are those who are the most blessed? They are those who are standing closest to the Mubarak qabr of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Man ra'ahu badihatan,